of Bachelor of Science in Civil Engineering, Bachelor of Science in Computer Engineering, Bachelor of Science in Electrical Engineering, Bachelor of Science in Electronics and Communications Engineering, Bachelor of Science in Electronics Engineering, Bachelor of Science in Mechanical Engineering, Bachelor of Science in Computer Science, Bachelor of Science in Information Technology. They have been recommended by their respective faculty after having completed all the requirements prescribed by this university, subject to the confirmation of the Board of Trustees of the university and the Commission on Higher Education. Please be seated.
And Dean Oscar Gulmatico of the UE College of Business Administration, Caloocan, will now present their candidates for graduation.
Candidates for graduation in the College of Business Administration, Caloocan, please rise as I call your respective degree program. Madam President and Chief Academic Officer, I have the honor to present to you the candidates for the degrees of Bachelor of Science in Accountancy, Bachelor of Science in Accounting Technology, Bachelor of Science in Business Administration, Major in Business Management, Major in Financial Management, Major in Marketing Management. They have been recommended by their respective faculty after having completed all the requirements prescribed by this university, subject to the confirmation of the Board of Trustees of the university and the Commission on Higher Education. Please be seated.
UE President Esther A. Garcia will now confer the degrees upon the candidates for graduation. May I request all the candidates for graduation to please rise.
By virtue of the authority vested upon me by law, and the powers delegated to me by the Board of Trustees of the University, and upon the recommendation of your respective faculty and dean, I hereby confer upon you the degree for which you have duly qualified, together with all the responsibilities, rights, privileges, and honors thereunto appertaining. Subject to the confirmation of the Board of Trustees of the University and the Commission on Higher Education. You may now transfer the tassels to the right. Yoo-hoo. May I now request the parents and the faculty members to please rise. Congratulations to all of you, including the parents and the faculty.
Dean Oscar B. Gulmatico of the UE College of Business Administration, Caloocan, will now introduce our commencement speaker. Please be seated.
Good afternoon to all. For today's 69th year-end commencement rites of the University of the East, it's indeed a very special privilege to introduce a very prominent achiever. He is our very own alumnus, a UE Manila graduate of Bachelor of Science in Business Administration in 1983, cum laude. A prominent certified public accountant. He pursued a graduate study in Master in Management program at the Asian Institute of Management in Makati City. He further advanced his postmaster's degree as a scholarly product of an advanced management program at the prestigious Wharton School of Management in the University of Pennsylvania, USA, and the Pacific Rim Bankers Program as well at the University of Washington Business School in Seattle, USA. Perhaps, maybe, and probably, he is an avid advocate of the famous maxim of bloom where you are planted. He painstakingly rose from the ranks, staking his future through the challenging supervisorial, managerial, and executive career ladder in the field of accounting and audit in just a single organization at the Punong Bayan and Arroyo, which is a leader in the country's auditing firm. Since 1986 until becoming what he is today. Our speaker has a very prestigious stature of a managing partner and chief operating officer of Punong Bayan and Arroyo. Harnessed with a long list of professional involvements and engagements in more than many and several prestigious accounting professional organizations, both in the Philippines and international scenes, please allow me to mention some. Auditing and Assurance Standards Council. This is a body authorized to establish and promulgate the generally accepted auditing standards in the Philippines. Association of Certified Accountants in Public Practice. From the positions of Board Director, Chairman, Executive Vice President, President, and recently as co-chair in the first ACPAP International Conference Committee. ACPAP Foundation, he rose from Board of Trustees to Chairman and President. Philippine Institute of Certified Public Accountants, various sensitive positions, engagements, and contributions. In the international scenes, he represented the 18th World Congress of Accountants in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, Arthur Young International in Dallas, Texas, Pacific Rim Bankers Program in Seattle, Washington, Grant Thornton International Global Conferences in Greece, India, Canada, China, and the USA. At this very juncture, before my allotted time on stage reaches its exhaustions, may I beg your indulgence, Mr. Speaker, on my introduction mission about you not having completely achieved by not being able to contain your long, long list of achievements and awards, engagements, and involvements. Nevertheless, with UE pride and honor, our 69th year-end commencement guest speaker, Mr. CPA Leonardo D. Quaresma, Jr.
Thank you, Dean. Members of the Board of Trustees and the Deans of the colleges. Let me say good afternoon, most especially to the graduates. First of all, let me congratulate all of you who are graduating today to have completed this initial stage of your professional life. To those graduating summa and magna cum laude, let me say that was a very exceptional achievement. And to all other graduates, I would like to say that I was at the same level as you 34 years ago. But today, I'm now the head of one of the biggest auditing firms in this country. So do not worry, you will have your time and will also be on the high level. When our university president, Dr. Esther Albano Garcia, talked to me to be this year's commencement speaker of this great University of the East, I was so greatly elated because I myself is a warrior, a graduate of this prestigious university. But candidly, immediately after that talk, I made a reality check and asked myself, am I really the appropriate person to be here with you today? Oftentimes, we look for commencement speaker as one who has been in this world with extensive experiences, old and mature enough to know how to get around to this journey called life. A speaker topped with white hair, which could be equated as the barometer of the Rites, the wisdom that he carries and could share to the graduates. Of course, I'm not talking about the white hair that he could share. It's the wisdom that I'm talking about. Now look at me, being a commencement speaker. Look at the color of my hair, and you can see not the richness, but the emptiness of the wisdom that I can share. Now look at my physical self, and you can see not an old mature self, but a look of a person that is almost as the same appearance as you. I would like to think it that way. So on the second thought, I may not be the ideal commencement speaker that it should be. Therefore, on such basis, you may not believe what I share to you today, whatever life experiences or wisdom that I will share to you today. And consequently, you would get nothing from me that could serve as your guiding ammunition or constant inspiration as you make another step, as you begin your journey to your career and continue your personal life. However, in your career and personal life, let me categorically say that at the end, it's yourself that matters. On the commencement speaker side, it is not what your commencement speaker will advise you that matters. It's what you will do to yourself that is important. It's how you behave yourself and how you make choices of which way you want to take. The choices that you make today will ultimately be your future. You should therefore make careful and intelligent choices because your choice today will determine the state of your life ahead. While it would help immensely to learn from the wisdom and experiences of others who have set sail in their life journey earlier than us, it's you and yourself alone will be the one to chart your own grand plan on how you will take your personal journey. For everyone's journey is different. The choices and its consequences will be yours, will be for your own self. Now let us start your own journey. But first, let us all accept the fact that all graduates will also take their own respective journey. Moreover, let us accept the fact that each and every one of you has his own ambitions, with different feelings, with different minds, and all of us wants to be successful and at the same time happy in our own life endeavor. And these are the common objectives in life of each and every one of us. What differentiates us from each other is on the way how we achieve our individual ambition and how we define success from each of our own perspective. I myself, as a CPA, for example, may define success when I say people whom I share in my expertise becoming successful and happy themselves, while another person who is also a CPA may simply define success just being reached the level of a chief financial officer of a big company. Now, what is the point that I'm driving at? That there is no very clear and single formula for success that is common to all. It is you yourself who make your life. It is you yourself who will define and how you will define your journey to success. In my specific case, what I did when I started my journey is to develop what I call my own self-commandments. The self-rules that I impose to myself. These self-imposed rules are the guiding values which I have developed since I started embarking in my own journey after my graduation from UE. These are very dynamic though, and I update them from time to time. I will share to you these self-commandments that I'm talking about today. Then if you will allow me, after sharing it, I want also to speak on what I anticipate happening in your life journey in the next 5 years or in the next 10 or more years from now. Let us now start with sharing my self-commandments. On the onset, let me categorically say again that any good experiences that I may have may not necessarily work onto you also. As I earlier mentioned, at the end, your success is mainly dependent on how you will react and behave on specific circumstances happening in your own journey. I am sure you have heard some, if not all, of this what I'm going to share, and some you may find it motherhood statement. But what is important is how I put life to those statements. Some may sound simple, but actually hard to follow. Let's start of commitment number 1. Commandment number 1. Can you see the slides? Or can you see the slides? I shall learn new things every day in ways that will enhance my relevance to others. This first commandment relates mainly to my professional life. If you think your studying will stop today because you are graduating today, think again. You will be left behind if you do stop. So keep it burning. Keep on studying. Move forward your professional life daily. Never stay put unsatisfied with the status quo. Do engage in continuous professional development. Do not stop keeping in touch with your profession. Keep reading. Read most of those that are relevant to you, that are relevant to your expertise, to keep yourself relevant to others, because in this world we live, nobody knows everything. People rely on each other and on each other's competence and expertise. And that's where you should be coming from, when and where others need your expertise. If others know that you're on top on the development on your areas of expertise, others will simply rely on you, for they know that they are in good hands when they are with you. So, that is how you become continuously relevant to them, to others, when they keep relying on you. And it is one good way to measure success of your professional fulfillment. Number 2, I shall build and keep my own network, my own personal contacts and friends. You need them, if not today, but in due time in your lifetime. Now, when I say friends, I meant not your friends in Facebook and other social media where you interact with them more often in electronic or without physical contact. While undoubtedly, the social media may be the modern and most efficient and fastest way to build contacts and friends, it may not be as far as keeping them is concerned. I still believe physically meeting with them is more human and professional. You may say, I am old-fashioned. Of course, we can use the social media to facilitate when and where you can meet them. But again, physical contact is necessary. Keeping that smile and greeting people are good ingredients to build and maintain contacts and network. For those of you who are shy, please don't be. And I suggest you practice not to be shy starting today. You can never build network if you are timid. Of course, be choosy. Be aware of people with negative outlooks in life and those who tend to pull you down. When you pull people into your network, it is important that to see them how important they are. When you converse with them, be sure to make eye-to-eye contact and focus singly on that person. Building your own network is important, both in professional and personal life, as feeling of belongingness is inevitable in this life. So, when you have that feeling of belongingness in your own network, your relationship with others will be your engine that helps you keep going in your own journey. Number 3, journey in your own time and recognize individual differences. Each of us has its own time and life to live. We do not achieve successes at the same time or die at the same time. Each of us has its own route to success. What may work well with someone may not work well with you. There are individual differences. Let us not envy others, especially material matters. Each of us has our own destiny, own competence, and level of relationship with others. Life is not about racing. It's about passionate in every minute that we spend as we journey in our own time. We only live once. So better spend it learning and experiencing new things without hesitation, for the time you spend hesitations are wasted time, which you may regret later on in your life. Success comes to others early, and some it comes late. Cory Aquino became a president at the age of 53, and she died at 76. The Time magazine's most influential person of 2017 became president at the age of 71. That's 1 year older than Donald Trump, who was a very successful businessman who recently became US president at the age of 70. But the handsome Justin Trudeau became Prime Minister of Canada with a very young age of 44. Our UA chairman, Lucio Tan, did not have his peso million at one strike of time. He had to pass certain life challenges, including moving to Naga, where he had to mop floors and do other menial jobs to send himself to school. He made it to college, but left before graduating and focused on making money by selling scraps. So you see, it's very much possible to become a billionaire even if you start from selling scraps. So, while we can be inspired by the successes of other people, let us recognize the fact that we can only be successful through our own actions and time. Number 4, do not procrastinate. Make things happen and get less stress. Delaying something or even not making timely decisions on certain matters is very close to laziness. Do not lose your motivation. Have the attitude of getting things done if you already done. You know, I found this as one of my eliminating daily stress, as one way of eliminating daily stresses in life, for it gives me a peace of mind before I go to sleep, freeing me up of continuously worrying about things left undone. Well, you say, I'm so naive, and life is not easy, and sometimes it goes complex, and there are times when there are so many things in your table that need to be done, and you are not Superman who can continuously work on them in one go. We are just human, and it is unavoidable that you leave some matters left undone. That is perfectly all right, as long as you know how to prioritize. There is a lot of people who, when faced with so many things to do, it's instinct for them to work first on the things that they are comfortable working on without practicing prioritization. While it is true that they do not delay, they may be unduly delaying some important things that should have been done earlier. So please, do not delay. Make things happen. And in case you are swamped with so many things, learn to prioritize. Number 6, this is my favorite. Correct mistakes before they occur. Maybe you do not realize, but this is quite common among Filipinos. I'm remaining to the sana mentality. For example, in your journeys, you would hear remarks like, ay sana, dinala ko yung ganito. Or at work, upon completion of project, realizing that there was an error that should have been addressed before, ay sana, ginawa natin yan noon. Upon reaching a destination, ay sana, doon tayo dumaan, mas malapit pala. These are disasters that could have been prevented has they been corrected beforehand. These are simple acts that could have yielded better or more efficient and effective results. I'm sure you yourself, in your 20 years in this world, have experienced the same. You could have spent your time happier. I will say this again, change before you have to. For if we do things right on the onset, we get the best results and are happier for it. Number 6, deal with conflicts squarely. And apologize if you are wrong and forgive if you are right. Do not run away from your problems. You simply cannot. Face the problem as it occurs. One exciting thing about life is it's not constant. Sometimes it is good, sometimes it is difficult. You will not always be at peace with others, even with your boyfriends or your girlfriends, or even with your parents. You will get to quarrel with people, argue, and stand by your principle. This is life, but these are life challenges. And in the case of conflict, you have to make a choice and a decision. You have to accept that you can never please everybody, no matter what your decisions would be. There are always winners and losers, but no matter what you will be, whether you be a winner or a loser, let the spirit of reconciliation prevails from your Christian self. Reach out to apologize with the other party or find forgiveness to the other party. And they say, and what I have read in Facebook, the first to apologize is the bravest, the first to forgive is the strongest, and the first to forget is the happiest. And so let us